Two of Tucson's most disturbing murder cases saw a major break recently. A sole suspect under arrest for the kidnappings and killings of 6-year-old Isabel Celis and 13-year-old Maribel Gonzalez. They went missing in 2012 and 2014. Among the most alarming discoveries about 36-year-old Christopher Clements, a criminal history spanning 20 years in 4 states, including offenses that required him to register as a sex offender at the age of 16. The Arizona Daily Star's Schmidt reported extensively on his record. She begins with whether the two cases are connected.
Aside from the location where the bodies were discovered, I haven't found any kind of connection. Nobody that we have spoken to has mentioned that the girls or the families knew each other. My colleagues had extensive contact with both families when the cases first were broken, and it was never mentioned. So aside from this man being arrested, that looks like that's it at this point.
Have you learned anything else during your time about how authorities came to reach the conclusion that this person is a suspect related to these two homicides?
Not yet. You know, they mentioned that somebody who was an inmate at a jail told them that they should talk to this man. They told us that Christopher Clements directed them to the body. We don't know if he did that in terms of hypotheticals or if he flat out told them. But the burglary charges in 2 separate cases that he was facing were dismissed weeks later. I've talked to one of the burglary victims who said that the police let her know that they wanted to dismiss the charges to pursue other heavier charges in a different case. But you know, they're just saying so little, and court records are so limited that it's really tough to glean any information here.
Since the arrest or since the indictment, we've learned that this suspect likely lived near one of the victims. Do we know at this point if police interacted with him during the initial investigation some 6 years ago?
We know that police, he was arrested in September of 2012. 5 months later, Isabel went missing. He was arrested for burglary and was let out on bail. The county attorney went back to court and tried to fight that release, saying that he was a dangerous person, and it was overturned. But we don't know if during that investigation he was yet a suspect in Isabel's disappearance. I'm waiting on the police report. I don't know when and if we'll get it, but they were certainly interacting with him during a portion of this investigation. And this investigation went on for years, and he worked his way through the court system through 2015. So he was on their radar in one way or another.
Any indication that this person is likely suspected to other crimes, perhaps relating to younger children in Pima County?
Not that we've heard, but we also don't know. He's been charged with 14 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, likely in connection to child pornography, and we don't know who those children are.
This suspect has a long history, criminal history, dating back to when he was a teenager. Anything at this point that leads you to believe that there's perhaps a legal loophole that allowed him to be free when these crimes took place?
I mean, I think maybe the issue is that there's no national database for law enforcement to use that allows them to tap into other jurisdictions in other states to see what kind of prior charges or convictions this person has. You know, they kind of have to rely on what they can find, either from the suspect telling them about themselves or by a search of their homes. If they didn't know that Christopher Clements ever lived in Florida, how would they know to reach out to Florida to see if he had any prior convictions or charges? So it's, you know, I know they're police and they're detectives, and it's their job to find out as much as they can, but, you know, they have limited resources as well. It begs the question of why isn't there that national kind of database? There is a national sex offender registry. Not everyone's on it, but that certainly is an easy tool for authorities to use. Why can't we expand that to national court system? To have seen him go through the system so many times and in so many different states, I never expected to see anything like this. I'm not confident that we found everything. I'm confident that, you know, I've identified these 4 states. He definitely has records, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has an arrest or a conviction in another state. You know, this is all based on information we've pieced together from different court documents. I haven't been able to find one record that lists every single place he was charged, so.
As a journalist, it's pretty rare to also hear from law enforcement and the county attorney and them not divulge all that information to the press immediately.
Yes, I have never, I mean, they don't typically hold news, you know, conferences for arrests unless it's extremely high profile, an officer involved shooting, something like that. But I've never been to one where if the person has a criminal record, they haven't at least mentioned it. Oftentimes they mention that very quickly and they tell us where to find it. So this is very unique. I've also never been to a news conference where they don't take any questions. And I understand why they're not, but they're treating this very differently than anything else.
Would you like to elaborate on why you suspect that is?
I think part of it could be the jury issue. It took them 18 months to indict this guy after he was on their radar, so you have to think that they have a pretty solid case, but it's, they don't usually want to help us do our jobs, but this is quite a bit of information to not give out. I wonder if they will be taking questions. Probably not, but I think we aren't going to get all the answers to this unless this goes to trial. So let's hope a plea agreement doesn't happen.
All right, Caitlin Schmidt from the Arizona Daily Star, thank you for your analysis and your reporting.
Thank you.